Welcome to Zone 6 Picks, your go-to source for daily sports betting predictions, expert insights, and free picks across the biggest games in the NBA, WNBA, NFL, MLB, NCAA, and more. We specialize in delivering accurate, research-backed betting content with no subscriptions, no hidden fees, just straightforward betting advice you can trust. Before we get started, a quick shout-out from my partner Zone 6.
What's up, family? Thanks for tapping in with Zone 6 Picks, where we drop game picks every single day. Straight free picks, no pay for play. If you like winning, this is the zone you need to be in, Zone 6. Just show the channel some love, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't never miss a money play. Let's eat.
What's up, Zone 6? Welcome back to another WNBA postseason breakdown. Tonight, the WNBA semifinals roll on with two massive matchups that could swing the balance of the postseason. In the East, the defending champion Las Vegas Aces look to impose their will against an Indiana Fever squad, fighting through injuries, but still dangerous on their home floor. Out West, the Minnesota Lynx and Phoenix Mercury enter Game 3 deadlocked at 1 apiece, with both teams showing they can control the series when they're at their best. Two battles, two different styles, and everything on the line as the road to the finals heats up. The stage is set in Indianapolis as the defending champion Las Vegas Aces and the upstart Indiana Fever square off in a pivotal Game 3. The series is tied 1-1, and both teams know that this matchup will determine control of the semifinals. The Fever shocked the Aces in Game 1 with an 89-73 victory, proving that they can rise to the moment even against one of the league's most dominant teams. But the Aces reminded everyone in Game 2 why they are back-to-back champions, locking in defensively and cruising to a 90-68 win behind the leadership of A'ja Wilson, who just secured her record 4th MVP award. The first factor that can't be ignored is player availability. Indiana is severely shorthanded, with Caitlin Clark out for the season due to a groin injury, along with Sophie Cunningham and several depth pieces sidelined. This puts enormous pressure on Kelsey Mitchell, Aaliyah Boston, and Odyssey seems to carry the scoring and playmaking load. Without Clark's spacing and passing, the Fever offense loses a key dimension, and their margin for error shrinks considerably. On the other side, Las Vegas enters this matchup at full strength, with Wilson, Chelsea Gray, and Jackie Young all healthy and locked in. From an efficiency standpoint, the Aces hold a clear edge. Through 5 playoff games, Las Vegas has posted an offensive rating of 110.7, with a true shooting percentage of 57.3, while also limiting opponents with a defensive rating of 103.1. Indiana, by comparison, sits at a net rating just above break-even, with offensive struggles showing in their lower 51.7 true shooting percentage. The shot quality gap is significant, and Las Vegas' ability to create efficient looks while forcing Indiana into tougher attempts was on full display in Game 2. The market currently favors Las Vegas by about 4.5 points, with the total hovering around 163. The line actually opened closer to Aces -5.5 before settling down, suggesting some buy-in on the home underdog narrative. However, historically, the Fever have struggled against this matchup, going just 3-17 in their last 20 against Las Vegas, while Indiana has been strong against the spread at home recently. This is a different caliber of opponent, and the Aces' playoff experience and championship pedigree are difficult to overlook. Ultimately, the most likely outcome is that Las Vegas reasserts control of the series with another strong two-way performance. The Aces have the deeper, healthier roster, the best player in the matchup in A'ja Wilson, and the defensive scheme to limit Indiana's already thin offensive options. Expect Becky Hammon's group to control tempo, dominate the interior, and lean on their star power to grind out a road win. My projection for this game is Las Vegas 84, Indiana 78, with the Aces not only winning outright, but also covering the spread at -4.5. The under also has slight value, given the defensive adjustments we saw in Game 2. For Indiana to pull off another upset, they'll need a near-perfect shooting night from the perimeter and a dominant performance from Aaliyah Boston. Otherwise, the balance, depth, and playoff-tested mentality of Las Vegas should shine through once again. Next, we slide to the west side, as the Minnesota Lynx and the Phoenix Mercury prepare for a crucial Game 3, with the series tied at 1 apiece. Game 1 went to the Lynx, who looked every bit the top seed with a dominant showing on their home floor. Game 2 told a different story, as Phoenix stormed back from a 16-point halftime deficit to steal an 89-83 overtime victory, proving this matchup is far from one-sided. With both teams trading blows, the pressure is mounting in what has become one of the most compelling series of the postseason. The market currently positions Minnesota as a 4 to 4.5 point favorite, with the total hovering around 158 to 159. Even after the Mercury's dramatic comeback win, the lines still reflect respect for the Lynx's underlying metrics and season-long dominance. Minnesota closed the regular season with the league's best record and has been the most consistent team against the spread, finishing 26-19-1 ATS. Phoenix, by contrast, sits closer to average in this category at 23-1, highlighting the difference in dependability when viewed through the lens of betting markets. Efficiency metrics further separate the two. Minnesota leads all postseason teams in scoring efficiency, pairing strong offensive execution with a disciplined half-court defense. Phoenix has built its playoff run on resilience, defensive toughness, and clutch shot-making, but their numbers sit closer to the middle of the pack. When the game slows down, as it often does in the postseason, the Lynx have shown the ability to create higher-quality looks while limiting opponents at the other end. Nafisa Collier, despite managing an ankle issue, continues to play at an MVP-caliber level and anchors both sides of the ball. Phoenix, meanwhile, benefits from a healthier roster than earlier in the year, with Alyssa Thomas and Kali Copper both critical to their second-half resurgence in Game 2. Coaching adjustments will play a huge role in how this game unfolds. Cheryl Reeves' championship experience provides the Lynx with a stabilizing edge, and her ability to adjust after Game 2's turnovers and perimeter breakdowns should not be underestimated. Phoenix's Nate Tibbetts deserves credit for sparking the comeback with defensive pressure and spacing adjustments. But Minnesota's depth and discipline typically show through over a longer series. The most likely outcome is that the Lynx regain control and deliver another strong defensive performance, tightening up their ball handling and forcing Phoenix into more contested possessions. Expect the pace to slow, the whistle to dictate tempo, and execution in the half-court to decide the night. My projection is Minnesota 80, Phoenix 75, with the Lynx covering the spread at -4 and leaning under the total. The Mercury have shown they can punch back, but Minnesota's balance, playoff pedigree, and efficiency give them the edge to take the lead in the series. All right, good people, let's run it back for the bag. In Indiana, I'm backing the Las Vegas Aces to cover on the road against the short-handed Fevrt, with my projection pointing to a controlled defensive win. Out west, I see the Minnesota Lynx regaining momentum in Game 3, covering the number against the Mercury, thanks to their balance and playoff-tested execution. That wraps up today's WNBA semifinal breakdowns. If you're rocking with Zone 6 picks, make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest betting analysis. Lock in with us all postseason long as we keep breaking down the matchups and hunting value every single slate.